Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. Again, it is profoundly gorgeous and beautiful out, and I was just completely guided to grab a couple certain decks, fairy light beautiful decks, and put some gold coins out for your abundance, and just come and enjoy the day. And who ran up but moonbeams to say hello. And it's just such an inspirational day, and I was listening to something this morning and it was so beautiful because it was talking about how our inner realm is where it really is beautiful and powerful. We can imagine the greatest scenarios in our heads, so why aren't we just taking the smallest steps and implementing things that are bringing us in that direction? You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes things are ill-timed or we're ill-equipped emotionally to really step into that, but that doesn't mean that in an hour or two we won't be ready. It doesn't mean the next day we won't be ready. I'll give you a for instance. I'm someone who has a lot of control over their mindset. I practice and I practice, yet still whenever I wake up I'm like, oh my gosh, you need to get to the bead store and get all these pieces for these things, and I'll start to rush myself, and I've already anticipated this harried schedule, so I have to stop right then. I'm like, these are only your ego pressing and pushing. You have to realize you have so many hours in the day and you always finish what you complete. And I always go back to the scenario when I one time did 22 personal reads in one day. It was a full moon special, and usually they're each about 15 minutes each. So when I broke it down to that, and I said, that's not 22 hours of work, Melanie. You have to bring it down, and kind of dissemble things, right? Whatever our day is, if we're having company over, we don't have to think that we have to cook all day 8 hours for this dinner. Let's be realistic, maybe a half-hour prep, and people can be there and be helping you, all those things. It's about breaking things down and realizing how beautiful and powerful our mind is to help us cope with what we think is insurmountable or bigger than it really is, right? Like today, for instance, because I've been running this special, and I still am, you guys, I'm going to do it right through Monday night because the response is so wonderful and you guys are amazing, and I want you to be able to afford these. So I'm still doing my 2-question $25 readings for you guys up until Monday night. So if you book this video is going to air Monday morning. So if you book them today, you're still in on that. And I usually run it about once a month after I've cleared the decks. I finished the Patreon reads, I finished everything on my agenda. And then I like to have this big kind of special going on, and I do fun giveaways, and your response has been amazing. So, I'm going to continue it for another day. But as I was saying, is I woke up and I think I have something anywhere between 10 and 15 readings booked today, and I thought it's so beautiful. My favorite thing to do is readings and make jewelry anyway. It's absolutely gorgeous out. You can bring all your gear outside, and I started to feel good, and I feel everything is within my scope and within my capabilities, and I don't overwhelm myself. So that's something we do have to remember for ourselves, right? We're lucky that we're able to do things that we want when we want, as soon as we convince ourselves that we want it, right? We're too often getting a little bit heavy on ourselves, and a lot of us are in the middle of a transition, a transformation into ascension. A lot of you guys are. So you may be feeling upside down, ill at ease, anxious. You may find yourself just swinging wildly between ecstatic joy and absolute despair. It's crazy, these big shifts. We just have to ride these waves with these eclipses, with these full moons, with these, oh my God, these retrogrades, all of these things. Just realize everything is temporary. That's always what puts me back in a beautiful head and heart space. Everything is temporary. Even when we are having the best, most ecstatic time, the reason that we should enjoy every little morsel of it is because of its temporariness. The same thing when hectic schedules and annoying things come up. That also is only temporary. So when we release into that energy that this will soon be gone and then I'll have a new experience, we feel better about ourselves, right? Okay, you guys, so today's reading is just going to be, whatever comes, because I was just guided to come out, pick up a few decks, and we're going to see. It may change as we're going along. Each group may be different, but I'm excited. Whatever it is will end up being in the title. Okay, so I'm going to get some of these, which I absolutely love. And I got to tell you guys, I bring my decks into all different rooms and I work in all different atmospheres. So every once in a while, I'll rediscover a deck and be like, oh, I absolutely love that deck. And I'll get so excited. So let's see what some of our choices are. Number 1 is I am a voice. And we have to remember that when we have something to say it. Don't ever bury your feelings and your true voice of what you want to convey to somebody, because it becomes a pressure cooker when we do that. We want to be honest. Number 2 is I feel connected to the earth and the animals and nature and your family through just being present moment aware of things. Okay, that's what I do. The moment I step outside, I feel the breezes, I see my crows, I see all the cats waiting for me to come talk to them, all the neighborhood cats, the turkeys, all the menagerie of crazy, all of this. And because I really see it, I really smell it, I really feel it, and I'm really involved in it, it's so rich, and it makes me feel connected to the earth and everything that's going on and our garden. And I'll post some pictures on Instagram too. All the tomatoes and everything are all coming out at once, and Hagen is the one that planted that. It's amazing. So number 3 is I feel brave. I have to do this constantly. I reach in, and as I've said before, I am somebody that's lucky that I wasn't born with fear. I wasn't born with doubt. I think it's part of the fact, I have 4 older brothers, and I've always watched them do crazy good things at sports, and they would teach me, and so I didn't feel incapable, and we would try everything. We had everything, jet skis and all these crazy things. We were always out on boats and canoes and around water, and we did things that other people might have fear of. But because of that, and I do feel divinely protected, and I must be, because I've never broken a bone, been ill, been hospitalized, or anything like that. And I should legit be in a coma for all the stuff that I've attempted in my life. And because I feel divinely protected and guided, I don't have that. So it's tell yourself every day, I did this. Did it knock me for a loop? Did it put me out? No, it didn't. So I'm going to keep attempting it. What a lot of people fear is rejection. So they don't attempt that relationship, that job, that interview because of that. But always attempt, always say you gave it a shot, and then you're going to feel so good about things. Okay, you guys? It's so funny. I'm always like, in the intro, I'm not going to talk. I'm going to go right into the read. But I'm so excited about today and all the good ideas that are coming. And I feel really tapped into happy, good energy. And one of the reasons, too, you guys, is Brian Froud. He just came out. It must have been out for a while now, but I forgot, and it came back up. Came out with a new oracle deck, a new fairy oracle deck. If you guys aren't familiar with Brian Froud and his wife, they do the most amazing art. He is responsible for the Dark Crystal, a lot of Jim Henson's characters, unbelievable fairy work. I mean, breathtaking. And I have their regular, it's just a regular fairy deck, but this is a new oracle deck with beautiful meanings and insights, just mind-blowing, you guys. So if you go on Pinterest and you punch in it, it'll come up. They're rather expensive at the moment because everybody's selling out of them. I think they're anywhere between $80 and $300. So I'm waiting for them to maybe get a reprint out there, but so beautiful. So you guys, I'm going to have a sip of coffee and let you make your choice. We got 1, 2, 3. I'm a voice, I am connected, and I feel brave. All right, so how I'm going to do this, I'm going to pull one of these, and then I'm also going to pull 2 or 3 tarot from one of my favorite decks. I love this. And we're just going to see what your messages are and what they pertain to. I feel like if Swords is coming up, that you guys are going to come up with good ideas, or it might be your ideas, negotiations, or something that you're working through, and we're going to see how that's going to pan out. Cups, again, is going to be emotionally formatted, whatever, within relationships, or how you're feeling or how you will be feeling. Pentacles, your money and work. And then also within Wands is your passion. That can be anything. That can be love. That can be your drive. That can be also future. Oftentimes in your decks, when you see the 2 of Wands, when you see the 3, 4 of Wands, that's future planning. And oftentimes it's just good social energy when you get that, which I really like. So let's see first. So your root portal, vitality, stability, survival, fearful. So this should definitely go with your voice too. And I'm going to see what 2 are corresponding and what it means right now. 5 of Pentacles. So right away, you guys, I want you to know, don't be fearful of lack of money. That's what this 5 of Pentacles is. Oftentimes you see people passing a church and there's alms and other things like that. It's saying don't be fearful of this, because money is going to start to recirculate. What we have to do, though, to initiate that is have a great envisionment process of us working a great vocation, seeing money coming in, not constantly worrying about bills. If you have bills and all those types of things around your desk and you're constantly seeing them, please remove them and put them in a drawer and just put a reminder somewhere that's small for yourself. It doesn't happen when it keeps resuggesting itself. You need to pay this, you need this, blah, 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 breathing down the neck. Also, this is saying just be responsible with your spending and expenditures right now. Oftentimes, if I walk into a crystal shop, forget it. All banks are broken. All budgets are busted. I'm just going to go crazy. I have no control. So what I do is I make sure I only have a certain amount on, like, I'll do my PayPal, I'll transfer something out, or I will set a budget and say, no messing around, because then it's like, oh, something will always pop up. One of the kids will be like, I really want this, or these sneakers, or this and that. And I remember in the day when I didn't have control of my spending, it'd be like, well, we have to wait till, my next check or whatever. So again, don't have this fear that you're going to be constantly living paycheck to paycheck, or you're not going to have the money that you need when you want it, because you will, okay? This vitality is going to be returning. 9 of Swords. This is saying too, don't inundate yourself with fearful thoughts. Don't inundate yourself with self-criticisms or whatever. This particular group, you've got a lot buzzing around your head when it comes to shoulda, woulda, couldas. Is this going to happen? You really need to focus on best case scenarios. Oftentimes when something is about to occur, we're about to meet somebody, go for an interview, whatever it is, really situate yourself in a great mental space through great inner dialogue. I've got this, I'm capable. They'd be very lucky to have me. These people will be lucky to know me. Our subconscious implants that we feed it every day start to secure themselves in our mindset. So as we tell ourselves more and more how worthy, wonderful, valuable, lovable, all of those things we are, we start to feel it, we start to act that out. Our confidence and respect really soar. We don't ever settle for crumbs. We don't ever settle for disrespect, because like anybody else, think of somebody in your life that you really respect and what you would never ever say to them. Don't ever let anybody say that to you, okay? Or what you would never do to them. Don't let anybody do that to you. Have that a reminder. I am not going to settle for disrespect or crumbs. Write that down where you can always see it. So when somebody says something, a comment on anything, how you dress, your weight, your hair, and you just don't want to put up with it, it makes you feel bad, speak up about it. If you have a spouse or somebody who comes in your house and doesn't say, hello, how was your day, in a warm and welcoming thing, instead they're like, why is the sink full of dishes or whatever, say, it'd be nice every once in a while if you would say, how was your day? Let them know. Say, that makes me feel dismissed and it makes me not really happy to see you. It doesn't have to be a big blow up or anything, but just let them know how it makes you feel, because oftentimes they are just on a subconscious replay, right? People are very apt to do what they have always done unless attention is drawn to it. So do that. Say, I'm not going to settle for that. Yeah, see, you guys are carrying the emotional load of somebody else right now. Somebody else's mistreatment of you or somebody else in the family. Something that you think you have to do and make a priority that shouldn't be your priority. Your happiness, your joy, you laying back should be your priority. I'll give you an example. If one of my kids has their mind set on something and it's a rather large expenditure, I will legit just start packing in work and doing designs and taking on more work than I should. And then I got to step back and go, you need to make your health and balance a priority. You need to make, your audience and your listeners a priority. So really focus on this video and go into it in a good mindset and erase every to-do list that you have and be present and aware in this. That's exactly what I did when I came out here today. My crow is in my tree, checking me out, looking at me, knowing that I left him food on the ground and he's all happy. And it's awareness. It's awareness to what is most deserving of your attention. So you guys definitely, this is you saying, you're a voice and speak up. If you have anybody in your family or friendship group that's taking advantage of you and taking your resources or your attention away from, a more balanced, focused self, just call a halt to it. Say, listen, I really need my time. We don't ever have to be abrupt or rude either. We can just say, listen, I just don't have the bandwidth for this right now. I have a very full schedule. I will definitely look into that when I get a chance. Whatever it is, you guys need to lighten your load. You need to have a beautiful envision process of things working out well. And realize you don't want to get caught up all the way to tens. The 9 is letting you know that, you can just drop all these thoughts that are afflicting or affecting you, because right now you're trying to maintain and secure vitality and stability, right? So in order to do that, it's going to just take a little time. So let's see. Beneficial beliefs feel better when I think them. Okay, this is the nail on the head for you guys, 100%. I have to do this too. There's things in your environment that you believe that match what you want, and there are all kinds of things in your environment that you believe that defy what you want. How would you ever sort them out? How do you know your active beliefs within you that serve you well and the active beliefs that do not serve you? How do you know the beneficial beliefs from the detrimental ones. The beneficial beliefs feel better when you think them. So you guys, when the non-beneficial ones come in, just dismiss them. Say out loud, this is not true. This is my ego and my mind just inundating me with stuff. And you know what I do? I picture myself flicking the word away whenever it comes in. Like I'll see a clock or there isn't enough time, that sentence or whatever I see, I picture my finger going in, I just flick it away and then I replace it with something. I have all the time in the world, all is well. So grab onto those beneficial thoughts that give you vitality. You know what works for me a lot is if I'm kind of hungry and it's like, I'll just start thinking of a really delicious snack I'm going to make later, a really delicious iced coffee, maybe with a little piece of carrot cake or just something that cheers me up and bolsters me, something to look forward to. I feel like that's going to help you a lot. But remember, within your voice is all the change that you want. So speak up for yourself, group one, and you'll get what you want. This happened to me for years. I wasn't people pleasing, but I hated conflict within my family. So I would, no kidding, be pulled in a million directions to try to keep everybody happy and clean if I knew it was one of the kids' jobs and it was going to upset Ian. I'd always just be running around at full velocity to keep the peace. I no longer do that. It's like, listen, this is your job, this is your task, and that's what you're going to learn to do really beautifully, group one. Beautiful. So if you're new to my channel, welcome, you guys. Don't forget to press like and subscribe and still get in on the $25 2-question read. If you just add your questions right onto PayPal, your email is attached to that, so I know where to send the link as well. So everything else, you guys, come over my Instagram and get in on all the giveaways. Today is either today or tomorrow I'm going to announce the jewelry winner with the amulets and the 3 Celtic stack rings, and then I'll decide probably tomorrow what this week's contest will be. So come on over there. If you subscribe over here and then you follow me over there, you're automatically entered into every contest, okay? So number 2, I'm going to have a sip of coffee and we're going to go on to I Am Connected, which is really important. We all need to feel connected. We need to feel connected to each other, our family, our needs, our emotions. More importantly, you know, the happiness that can be found anywhere, right? It's all within the realm of our imagination. It starts there. I can do this. I can have this. I can be this. I can experience this. I do this every day when my to-do list gets like a runaway train in my head and it's not even a reality. I say everything is in due course. It just simply means to me, I'll get to it when I get to it, and the world isn't going to cave in. You know, sometimes we place too much importance on time and schedules, where I feel like in the summer we should really loosen up and be much more calm in our approach to things, right? We're not machines, we're people. Third Eye Portal is saying visions, clairvoyance, clarity. I always feel like this is avoiding confusion. A lot of people are receiving a lot of messages right now. And it's funny that it's about clairvoyance, because I have had a lot of dream imagery, and they're good things that are happening and changing, and it makes me feel really good. But oftentimes, you know, when we see that reality and it's optimal and we want it, we're kind of pissed at the reality that's taking place now, right? Because I was seeing things really beautiful in the near future of people just really coming together and huge governmental change and shifts and awareness and just new things that are implemented within the world that are necessary for the health of the planet and the population. And it was so beautiful, and I felt so good when I woke up. And that's going to be happening to a lot of you. You're going to be seeing things and feeling things. 5 of Cups. It's funny, the last group had a 5 of well, and I feel as well, and 5s and 7s. So this is what we're looking out for. I just decided right away this read is based on what we're looking out for and how to avoid it. 5 of Cups. This is us realizing that life is never boring unless we allow it to be. We have so much going on in our imagination, our mind, and our world that we should never be bored. If there is a sky outside and there's a ground, there is something going on. So again, we have to be careful. It's the ego that says if your life isn't filled with diamonds, flash, and sports cars and yachts and all this stuff, you know, and when you see people that have those things all the time and they're bored of them, when you can afford anything in the world, I'll tell you what, those are the people that get bored quickly and they drink too much. My wealthier sides of my family when I was younger, they were the ones that were the most argumentative. And I mean, it's crazy because my dad's first wife remarried into a very wealthy family. So everything was all about, the country clubs and all of that. And we go to their house, but everything was so image-based too, that when it didn't go well, there'd be so many fights and arguments, where my blue-collar side of the family that loved music and, they were builders, were always having fun. They didn't care. They didn't care about image. They cared about, cooking good food for each other and playing good music. And that's, I way look forward to that than I did than going, to this big, beautiful house with a waterfall outside and everybody fighting. It was ridiculous. So this is what we need to be careful of, that we feel like we don't have enough attention, whatever, time, all of that. We should, when we pitch ourselves in abundance and feel like we have enough, we do. We really do. We are so inundated with this commercialism that we think we need this other stuff. Indy and I talk about this every once in a while, especially for women. You need this cream, it'll make you youthful. Who says you have to be youthful? You need this machine so you can be fit and thin. Who says that? You know what I mean? All these people are selling us stuff. We don't need to be things that we don't need to be, or we can do without it on our own. I always feel like natural, holistic approaches. I feel like if you're outside and you're walking, guess what? That's free. It's good for your skin and it's good for your body. It's just one of those things. This is saying don't be sold on commercialism and materialism. Seven of Swords, stand up for yourself. So this is saying too, sometimes people are going to come in and they're going to try to force their ideas or agenda on you. Be like, no, thank you. And we don't ever have to be rude. What we can do is just say, I'll give that some thought. Thank you so much. And then, put it in the garbage bin where it belongs, because everybody has an opinion. It can be very irritating, especially what's going on in the world right now. There are really heightened emotions. I'm sure a lot of you guys are experiencing like what's going on within Black Lives Matters, within the United States government and the crazy, everything that's going on. And everybody is definitely, privy to their own opinion, but they should not be trying to force it on anybody, or how they're going to ignite change. And never ever, if somebody steps on your toes telling you how you should think in terms of anything in the world, just thank them very much. Smile. If they're provocative and they want to provoke anyway, don't give them that energy, because that's sort of what this is. Somebody forcing you to constantly defend yourself. So if you're around anyone you feel like you have to be defensive around, please lose that person or that place or that environment for a while, because I used to be in environments like that where I would walk into work and like the lazier people that know that they don't look so good next to people that care about their work would instantly be like derisive and want to goad you and get you in a bad mood because you walked into the building happy. There's people like that. If you're working with people that are just there for a paycheck and they're ornery or they're competitive, just ignore them. Pretend like they're invisible and they don't exist. Just coexist as calmly as you can, but don't give them one iota of energy or power, okay? And Eight of Pentacles, I feel like you guys are starting to see, or very shortly we'll see some resonance of the seeds that you have planted. Like maybe little creative sprigs sprouting here and there going, hey, let's do this. Let's sing this song, write this verse, write this chapter, connect with this person, whatever it is, follow your bliss with this, because I feel like it's a very important time for you to do that, because inspirational creation is going to come, alchemy, the elements, and innovation. You're going to have great innovative ideas that are going to push you forward in a really beautiful, creative way. And like, I feel like it's insta success. It's like you're going to have the Midas touch and you're just going to be bowled over by your own gifts. Sometimes I will just dump out a bunch of different like beads and crystals, and I'll just be like, messing around with them while I'm watching a program, and then I'll see the end piece. It's usually 1 out of 10 that this happens, where it looks spectacular, like just the size and the stones and the blend and the fall and everything of it is perfect and it's amazing. And I'm like, damn, that bitch looked like a museum piece. Like really, how sometimes you just freak yourself out. You're like, oh, I'm just gonna sketch this, and then all of a sudden it looks insanely good. You're gonna be having that happen to you. So use that to help you push forward to more success, because that's sort of the arena you're gonna be moving in. Group 2. Beautiful energy, you guys. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my links are down below. Yeah, you guys are going to be reaching into a beautiful creative phase, which I love. Oh, this weather, you guys, I can't even tell you. So again, you guys, if you want to get in on the 2-question $25 special, just on your PayPal, just write your 2 questions and your email is attached to that as well. And again, if you subscribe over here and you follow me over on Instagram, you're automatically entered in every week's contest. And it's always a draw of a card, 2 cards, and if it matches your first 2 letters, either in your moniker or name, that's how you win. So it's all just fun and chance. And it's everything. It's got us for provisions boxes, it's jewelry, it's free reads, it's everything. It's a way for me to give back and say thank you to you guys so much. Okay, you guys, so now we're on to number 3. Sip of coffee, and then we're going to see what's happening with I Feel Brave. It is a brave new world out there, so we gotta go in it with our brave goggles on. You ever plan you're going to a party or an event and you've convinced yourself that it's going to be like a lecherous or ridiculous crowd, and you get fear for whatever reason? Because I know people have social phobias. I'm lucky in that I just don't. I like huge crowds of people for short periods of time. I love meeting new people, and I really dig it. Hi, Orange. But I know a lot of people, they do have a social anxiety, so it's not so fun for them. But I feel like you can convince yourself of anything for a brief while, and once you step into that and you kind of fake it till you make it, oh, I'm going in for this job interview, and it's this company wants me, I'm going to do really well. I've got high octane attractability. I am it, and all of that, and you feel good. This has worked for me. I have never gone on a personal interview where people have met me and not been hired, because I use that trick every time. I'm like, I am gonna make this company better. I am gonna fit in here beautifully. Your subconscious doesn't care what you tell it, but it starts to believe it. You walk differently, you speak differently, your eye contact, you're connected, you stop fidgeting. It really is mind over matter within all of this, you guys, and you are gonna be brave. You're gonna be brave within your intra and interpersonal relationships, telling people what you truly think. What you're asking for the universe. You're stepping it up. You're not playing shy anymore. You're ready for some big wins and big connections. So you also have exploration, boldness, unknown, limitless. This is something that helps us exponentially when we know that everything is limitless. Our potential, our love, our ability to be loved, our travel, where we're going to go, our understanding, right? I feel like people have limitless possibility for absorbing knowledge. And some of the reasons that I've known this and I've seen this is if we're interested in something, we're paying attention to it, guess what? We're going to remember it. You ever just come upon a conversation and somebody's like, oh, yada, 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 and you're like, you know everything about that because you watched something on blue whales, or you watched something on, any kind of tree, forest, meadowlands, whatever it is, you saw a program and it interested you and you were 100% plugged into it. So you obtain this knowledge, right? I'm like that with crystals. It is the craziest thing that anybody can mention any crystal, and for some reason I know its properties, and I oftentimes know the area of the world that it's sourced from. It's crazy because I love it so much and I'm so interested. Anytime any information comes in, and I have a huge book that India got me 2 years ago, I've never stopped studying up on it. So all of that, whatever interests you, keep constant study going. And you also have reflective truth, your identity, self-love, and acceptance. You're moving into this, listen, I deserve what everybody else has. Nobody deserves more than me. There's enough love, there's enough attention, there's enough money, there's enough jobs, there's enough everything to go around. And I'm stepping up. I'm never, ever going to, have that victim mentality or start feeling sorry for myself or ever relegate myself to any kind of crumbs. I'm very deserving. And you're going to start to solidify who it is you want to be viewed like. You know what I mean? Think of somebody you're absolutely proud of and how they live their life. Start to imbue those qualities. Mine is definitely integrity in everything, with word, with work, with actions. Never belittling anyone or try to make them feel foolish. Never ever pulling, that holier than thou attitude or righteous. If somebody has a belief, I never ever want to make them feel like it's not the proper belief. Everybody is due their own self-reasoning, right? But now you're like, wow, I feel really good about who I am and what I'm doing. And that's hugely important. Look at that, the sun. Oh my gosh, group 3, the other group's going to be so Jerusalem here, and here's why. You have that arrow back and it's ready to shoot out these arrows in intention. So this is very high comprehension time for you, meaning whatever you want to formulate for the future, you comprehend how to go about it brilliantly. Again, the Midas touch. This is how I'm going to do this. This is how I'm able to get a lot done in one day too. I'm just like, you know what? I always feel like the biggest plans that have follow through are written down and they're said out loud, and the intention is set, which is exactly what you're doing. Work in threes. I plan to do this, this, and that. I'm going to connect with that person, send these out, so on and so forth. And the sun is really shining down on you. I feel like you have divine guidance, love, and spiritual compassion and empathy and energy all wrapped around you, carrying you to these destinations that you're meant to go. A lot of you guys are healers. A lot of you guys are other readers and light workers as well. You guys have really great healing energy, and you're really, witty and fun, and you don't take yourself that seriously with this energy. Therefore, you're going to be put in positions of powers where people respect you. People also, you're like your power of persuasion as well as your power of suggestion is huge. So if you're ever like, hey, why don't you try it this way? People will be like, hey, that's a great idea. You know what I mean? That's what the Sun and Empress combined do. It's freedom from within. It's a realization we can change what is outside us by starting on the inside. It's about not taking things on the outside too seriously and knowing when valuable information shows up and how to utilize it. It's like kapow, you're off and running group 3. Beautiful, beautiful energy. If you're new to my channel, welcome. You guys, I'm so excited for you. You're just, you're ready to catapult this. You are seeing yourselves as free, full of light, and full of love. And that's what you're doing. So beautiful. Again, you guys, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my links are down below if you guys want to get in on the $25 2-question read. All you have to do is write them right down on the PayPal, and it comes through. Your email is already attached to that. Everything else is down there. My links for my Etsy store, which has all my amulets and everything. And feel free to DM me if you have any questions. Can I specialize something, remodel something, remake, repiece, or you have an idea on a piece of jewelry that you see somewhere? I can pretty much replicate anything that you send me. I mean, my arsenal of beads is crazy, and I have some really good shops available to me. So, I custom make a lot of stuff for people. So all of that, you guys. So again, love and light, come over to Instagram and get on all the contests too. It's SparkCrystal11. Come on there. You guys, if you have subscribed over here and you follow me over there, you're automatically entered in everything. It's so fun to do, and everyone gets excited. And everybody's so beautiful over there. They congratulate the winners. They get so happy. And oftentimes, a lot of people over there, they're other readers, they're other light workers, so then they communicate and these great conversations get started. So I really love you guys over there. So thanks for your love and support, and I'm going to go upload.